What's up, y'all? Back with another video. This is a training session more focused on the shoulders and chest. And just to start off with, not my last two videos, but I'm pretty sure my 37th and my 38th video, they have taken about 2 full days, or not 2 full days, but a whole extra day to upload. So those two videos uploaded a whole day later, which kind of make things look weird because now my 39th and my 40th video are gonna be up on the same exact day. So, I'm not sure how often something like that is gonna happen. Right now, that's like the third time something like this has happened, and hopefully, it's not gonna be like a continuing trend because that's pretty annoying. I always upload my videos the night before, and I have them scheduled to be posted at around 12 or around 2 o'clock. So, or well, 2 p.m. specifically. And I'm thinking, from the night to, 12, that should be a good amount of time for it to upload. But sometimes it just might take a whole extra day. I'm not sure exactly why that happens. But yeah, but getting into the workout, it was cold. It was cold in the gym room this morning. So I'm actually wearing clothes. I'm actually wearing a jacket and a shirt. So, but one thing about it is that having to train when it's cold like this, it's kind of hard to kind of just warm up. Because in my warm up, when I was stretching and doing some resistance band stuff, it was just kind of hard. It was like I was stiff. I was very stiff. It was basically as if I was frozen cold. And so, during your training, it's kind of hard to adjust and feel light and just feel like you have full access to all of your motor functions or whatever. But during the session, I did get a lot better. I got a lot warmer. My body temperature rose, and I felt like I would usually would during my usual training sessions here. So here I did pike push-ups and then face pulls. So again, I am changing my training session. So with that, I am kind of more focusing on something like a push pull arms legs. So in this pushing session, of course I have my pulling movements, but that's just for my shoulders. And this way I can focus more on my chest. I can do more chest exercises. I can do more shoulder exercises without having to worry about hitting my triceps or my arms to any capacity after the workout, since now any type of arm training is now on a completely separate day. So of course that gives me a lot more just freedom and liberty to be able to hit a bunch more muscle groups. Here, the pike press, first set I did about seven reps. I feels like last week it's been maybe a week or so ever since I did pike presses. So, because the last time, my last pushing session, quote unquote, I did just a bunch of dips. So I didn't train the pike press then. So, of course, I still had some pretty good strength gain without having to continuously do it at least twice out of the week. I would say usually for any type of training volume, once to twice a week is pretty good in terms of any type of movement you're trying to do, right? Maybe even 3 times a week. It really depends on your recovery and how well you recover. Here are decline ring push-ups. I have not done ring push-ups in general in a while. I remember I used to do decline ring push-ups almost all the time. It was practically my main chest exercise. And what happened is that I'm assuming, an overuse injury, and it was mostly my left shoulder, maybe possibly in my rotator cuff. I'm not sure, but it would get very irritated, and I wouldn't be able to train right. So I would do in my old sessions, I would have upper body, so I would do pull ups, and then I would do some type of overhead press maybe, and then I would do ring push ups with a row. And when I would do the ring push-ups, it would get in the way of me doing my rows. And then after I would do the ring push-ups and whatnot, I would train my shoulders. And I wasn't able to train my shoulders properly because of that shoulder pain. So it would have to force me to stop my training sessions a lot sooner. So that's one thing. That's why I don't do ring push-ups as much since I didn't want to get into some type of injury, so I just make sure I switch it out. Here are inverted shrugs, if you have no idea what I'm doing here. And it's a pretty good exercise for your traps, and the back of your neck too. And it's, I feel like a pretty creative way to train your traps if you're not going to be using any type of extra equipment outside of rings. I still think you can do this on just a bar as well. But of course, if your bar is like, 2 or not even 2 feet, like 1 foot away from the ceiling, 3 feet away from the ceiling, then this might not be the best for you. Maybe if you have a bar that's outside, or if you have a like a really high ceiling, then you can try inverted shrugs. Maybe if you probably get a little bit lower to the ground, like if you have the rings lower to the ground, then maybe you can do the inverted shrugs a lot better. And back to the ring push-ups, the pump was really good. Oh, always ring push-ups are probably like the best chest exercise when it comes to calisthenics. They might be the best chest exercise in general. Just the fact that the instability allows you to get such a great stretch at the bottom, and then you really, 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 really squeeze at the top because your hands are coming in. It's kind of like as if you're doing a fly, but you're kind of mixing in a press with a fly, and it's absolutely amazing, especially if at the top end of motion you turn your wrist outwards. That really kind of like really squeezes the contraction in your chest, and of course you're gonna get like a massive juicy pump in the pectoralis majors. So I would definitely recommend doing some type of ring push up, even ring dips. Ring dips are really good. And this is me doing the inverted shrugs again. This time no shirt because I was warm enough at this point. My body heat had rose to a good amount level, and you can see a bit more since my shirt isn't in the way here, how the movement really looks like. And again, I do bend at the elbows a little bit because that allows me to get a lot higher. And one thing I just kind of thought about is possibly mixing up the grip width. So possibly, maybe I could have my rings go out a little farther. That way, my traps are kind of stretched a lot more, since that's kind of how your traps are. Like, maybe not super wide, but if I kind of go like a little outside of shoulders width, then maybe I can have, an even greater stretch on my traps. And here is the last exercise of the workout. I was thinking of doing either dips or push-ups, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go with push-ups. I was kind of thinking of like, I think I'll do dips, but I did 108 dips like just a couple days ago, so I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna do regular push-ups, and these are really good. If you kind of pay attention here, you can see that my hands are like rotating. So this is kind of in a way mimics how your hands would be moving in a ring push-up. And it kind of exaggerates the kind of twisting motion you want your elbows to kind of have. So the whole point is as if like you're grabbing the ground, and you're kind of like twisting the ground inwards towards you as you're doing like a push-up. That's a kind of a cue that people do for bench press, and they really feel their chest that way. I've done it for bench press, but I've never really felt my chest that way. I just, again, like bench, just, I don't know, it doesn't really do much for my chest, right? But push-ups, any type of push-ups whatsoever, like my chest like will freaking, blow up or whatever, right? Even with dips. And that even reminds me, bro, at work, it was the dude, he was talking to me like, yo, how much do you bench? And I'm like, oh, I don't bench. I just do like push-ups and dips. He was like, really? Because he's like, I can see your chest through your shirt and it's like really popping out. And I'm like, yeah, I just do calisthenics. And he was like, wow, man. And I wasn't going to get into the whole thing about like, oh, calisthenics is the great, amazing thing. You should stop lifting weights or whatever. But it was just interesting because, someone pointed out my chest looking impressive through a shirt, especially with me having gyno. I don't know if my gyno made it look like it popped out more, but all I've been doing, for the past however long I've been training is just push-ups and dips. I'd say I don't even bench like at all. I mean, I've benched here and there just to see how it felt, but like about 99.9% of my training volume when it comes to my chest is just like push-ups, mostly push-ups and dips, and then maybe you can count pike press, since that might work your upper chest a bit. And that's about it for you guys. See you guys in the next one.